Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist ENSO forecast, and welcome back to another video, guys. As you can tell, we're going to be doing my first very early preliminary forecast for the winter of 2019-2020. Guys, this has been all recommended for my videos. Like, everybody's wanted this. At least have a comment on each video, at least of people saying when's your forecast for winter going to come out, or you should do one. But guys, I am actually extremely excited to do this. I don't even know why I'm excited, but you guys are most likely really excited too, guys. And yeah, so I did not make. I was not around at this time last year because I started in November. But this would be around my second time doing winter forecast, but not at this time. But either way, I've grown so much in the past a couple months that of course I'm gonna have a lot more people watching this. But guys, just a lot of people have been recommending this, and I'm just really excited to do my first preliminary winter forecast for you guys. And yeah, if you guys love videos like this, be sure to like this so you can have more of these videos. Also, be sure to share this channel to anyone who you think is wondering when this winter is going to look like. Be sure to share this channel too. Also, be sure to subscribe for more videos like these. I do a lot of videos like this. I have not been around for more than a year. So again, this is exactly why I'm not having all of these videos every single year, because I've not been around more than 7 months. But again, guys, be sure just to like this channel and all that. But as you can tell, we're going to be looking at the ENSO outlook, or ENSO. We're going to be looking at the ENSO outlook. And as you can tell, El Niño is present right now. So there's an El Niño is present right now, and it's looking like the pattern. The pattern can change from a El Niño to a ENSO neutral, which is not a La Niña or El Niño. It's a neutral. It's expected to form in the next month or two, with ENSO neutral most likely to continue through the northern hemisphere fall and winter. So it is most likely going to be either El Niño or neutral this winter. For the past couple of days, El Niño most of the models have been going back to El Niño, because we all knew the La Niña models were going back up to La Niña, but then it went back to neutral or El Niño. So it doesn't look like we can see more of a neutral, but again, it's in between El Niño and neutral. But again, it's looking like we can have a neutral for the next coming months, for all the way through winter, from the next 2 months all the way to fall and winter. So that's basically the summary. So now that we looked at the summary, now we're gonna be looking at the temperature anomaly for the last 4 weeks. So you guys can see basically what it's been looking like and how it's been changing. So again, if it's from the 0, sorry guys, let me just move. It's from the 0 all the way to the -3, that is below average. And if it's from the other side of 0 to the dark color red, that's 3, that's still above average. But again, we did have a small little area that was above average into the central part of the Pacific, and we did have these cooler temperatures off the coast of South America. So it's not at this point it was looking like kind of like a Madokai for the past 4 weeks there, but we were starting to see these cooler temperatures start to spread more into the central Pacific. So that's why we're kind of going back to a neutral and La Niña, and then we are seeing these cooler temperatures out here off into the northern Atlantic, and we are having these warmer temperatures out here into the northern part of the Atlantic off the coast of the United States. We are seeing very cold temperatures off the coast of South America. So that's why we're not exactly sure if it's going to be El Niño or neutral right now. But again, this is the past 4 weeks, not the next 4 weeks to come. But again, we are having cooler temperatures for much of the central Pacific. That's exactly why we cannot say exactly of it being an El Niño. Because again, for El Niño, there are the 4 stages. One of the El Niños are just off the coast there. One of them are to the central Pacific, and then the Madokai will be right here. Most of the warm water being off into the central Pacific, and cooler waters being off into the coast of South America. So again, we have a lot of stages that come in a factor. Now we're going to be looking at the NOAA definition for El Niño or La Niña for any of those people who do not know. So El Niño is characterized by a positive ONI, which is greater than or equal to plus 0.5 Celsius. So if it's equal or more than 0 plus 5 Celsius, that's where the models, if the models go in these numbers. But if it's a greater than 0.5 Celsius, it is a El Nino. So that's where you can tell where the models are showing. And then if it's La Nina, it's the opposite. It's characterized by a negative ONI, less than or equal to a negative 0.05. So it's less than 0.5 Celsius. If it's less than that, it is again going to be La Nina. So in between 0.5 Celsius and negative 0.5 Celsius, that's all a neutral. So there's a big area of neutral there. And then again, it is going to be like 5 consecutive overlapping 3 months where we have seen a full-fledged El Nino or La Nina episode. Again, this is exactly what it's looking like. Again, El Nino is greater than plus 0.5 Celsius or equal to, and then La Nina is less than negative 0.5 Celsius or equal to. So now, you guys, we're going to be looking at the probability of having El Nino, neutral, or La Nina. So again, the blue is for La Nina forecast probability. So here's the blue. All the models are showing blue. And then, of course, they are all going to show each one in the probability. Then for the gray, it's neutral. So all these are for neutral and the gray. And then for the red, it is a El Nino probability. So this is, it's favoring a neutral. It's the ENZ here. The ENSO neutral is favored to emerge into the next season and to continue through the northern hemisphere in fall and winter 2019-20. If you guys want to know how can we say that, each model does show the neutral, again the gray, being higher than El Nino and La Nina. Again, this is more than 50% chance of probability here. So some models actually show 60% chance there. A lot show more than 40. Again, La Nina has gone down a little bit. It's only about 10 to at most 15% chance of that, and some even show 0. A lot show 0. So La Nina is not looking like it will be happening this winter. It's looking like an El Nino. Because again, El Nino models have been going up the past couple of days. Because we have been seeing these warmer waters looking like a Madokai. So we are seeing up to possibly 45% chance for El Nino here. And then the others show about 30 to 40. So again, it's looking like it is favoring a neutral. That's all you need to know. It's favoring a neutral. So now we looked at those models. Now we're going to be looking at where it shows the if it shows a El Nino or a La Nina or neutral again. 0 plus 0.5 above is El Nino, and negative 0.5 below is La Nina. So from here is a La Nina, and then from here is a El Nino. So again, here is a El Nino right here from 0.5. So a lot of the models do show it coming to an El Nino, because look at the 0 equals 0.5 or above. So we actually do have a major amount of the models showing it favoring an El Nino. Again, they had been going up a lot. So again, here it is right now. It currently is an El Nino, and then it's right here. This is the line of an El Nino. So about 35% of the models are showing it becoming staying as an El Nino to the fall and winter months. And then let me draw the neutral square. So you guys can, I know it's not going to be a perfect square, but this is the neutral square right here. And then about 60% or 75%, sorry, not 75, 65% do show it getting to neutral. Again, a lot of them right here. It is showing, the majority are showing a positive neutral, not on the negative side. Only a little bit are showing it getting to the negative side of a neutral. But again, it's either going to be, it's basically going to be in the positive range between an El Nino or a positive neutral. Basically, 85% of the models do show it staying with more than 0.0 on the positive side. So that's that. So now that you see that, we're going to be looking at what an El Nino pattern what it does, or what it looks like. So we are going to be having this subtropical jet stream bringing wet conditions for the south all the way to the southeast. Let me actually do a different color. So it'll be bringing a subtropical moisture up here. So it'll bring in above average precipitation out here for the southwest. So you see it'll be wet for the Four Corners area and for the Death Valley, and that will bring cooler temperatures out here for the south and for the southeast. So that's why that's why if you want snow in the southeast, you favor a El Nino, because you want it to be cooler and wetter, because when the wet meets with the cool, it does produce a lot of snow, and that brings a lot of snow out for these areas into the southeast. So that's why I actually favor El Nino every winter because I really want snow. But again, it's not looking like it's either going to be El Nino or neutral, but it is looking like it's going to be a neutral again. And then the low pressure zone will be moving up to the north. It'll be like kind of like this, the dip in the jet stream somewhat, and that will bring in some dry conditions out here for the Ohio Valley areas. Very dry, less precipitation than normal. It will bring in very, very warm temperatures for the northern part of the country, for the Midwest, and for the parts of the northern plains up to the northwest. So we're going to be seeing warm temperatures here, and if you like want average, somewhat, you want to see basically El Nino if you're favoring from the plains all the way to the northeast. If you want just an average winter, you most likely want to favor El Nino. But again, El Nino could produce actually a lot of nor'easters when it comes up these areas. That's one model. If we look at another model with El Nino, because some people just like to see more, which I understand. Again, this green does stand for the wet again, and then here's this subtropical jet stream, basically, where it's basically, of course, going to be in the southern part of the United States, and that's where it's going to bring wet. So we'll bring in a widespread wet from much of the south of the country, from the southeast to the southwest. So from North Carolina all the way up to here to California, we will see above average precipitation here when it comes up to areas into the southern part of the country. And then again, this blue will be cooler temperature. So again, that's where we can produce snow. And then we will be seeing these drier conditions out here for the Ohio Valley in the Midwest. So again, a lot less precipitation. That's why El Nino does bring less snow for the Midwest. And then it will bring in these warm temperatures for the northern plains of the country there. Now we looked at those El Nino. We're going to be looking at the La Niña. So guys, we are mostly familiar with the La Niña because the polar jet, it's going to be bringing a polar jet instead. It's going to be the opposite of El Nino. So bringing very cool air towards the northern plains, moving this direction towards the wet. But a lot of people think that La Niña does produce a lot less precipitation for the south, and yes, it's true. It brings in very, very dry conditions for the south central and to the southwest, and the deep, deep, deep south for southern Georgia and northern Florida. So that's where we could have dry conditions. But for these areas out here in the warm, for northern Georgia and the Carolinas and northern Alabama, we can actually see a lot of snow in those areas too, because the cooler air meets up here and moves towards the east, because this jet stream goes like this. So again, this cooler air is going to be moving towards the direction of the wet, and when that wet meets with the cold, that will produce a lot of snow, especially with the cooler air, and we need that precipitation too. So it could bring in a lot of snow for the areas of northern Georgia and for the Appalachian Mountains. If you're expecting snow in Atlanta or anything, you won't see it from La Niña, because it's going to bring it just for the mountain areas again, and then we'll have some more wet conditions out here for the areas of the west. So now we're going to be looking at my forecast for the precipitation. So this is precipitation. These are the colors for above average, slightly above average, way above average, slightly below average, and above average. So it is looking like we will be seeing a lot of above average precipitation, since it's looking like it could be a neutral, and it is favoring to bring in a lot of precipitation. So we will be seeing slightly above average precipitation from all the way to Maine through areas of the Minnesota area. So that's where we could see above average precipitation. I really don't think we could see above average precipitation for these areas at the tip of Minnesota. I know it's kind of like picky or something, but I really don't think we will see a whole lot of above average precipitation for these areas next to Canada. And for this near the Duluth area, I really don't think you will see above average precip. But we will be seeing slightly above average for parts of the Ozarks, the South Central, the Deep South, and for parts of the Mid-Atlantic coast. And then we will be seeing above average in this second layer of green. We will be seeing that where we see above average, not slightly above average, but above average for these areas in the Appalachian Mountains. Because again, it is looking like we could have this cooler air into the Midwest, and that will be meaning with the wet, which we can produce a lot of precipitation here. Not only rain, also some sleet maybe and snow at some times. So we can see that for the areas all the way from New York to the southeast, again, those Appalachian mountain areas. Now we're going to be looking at the temperature anomaly. So this is going to be above average oh, sorry guys, I actually need to go back for a second. So we will be seeing below average precipitation for the southwest. I almost forgot about that. We will be seeing slightly, I know it's really, really hard, but we will be seeing slightly below average precipitation out here for the southwest and for California. We could see some drier conditions here since it won't be La Niña or El Nino. Basically, it's looking like it's going to be again a neutral. So again, we will be seeing some slightly below average temperatures there. Below average precip. So now that we looked at that, now we're going to be looking at temperature anomaly. So this is slightly above average, and then we're going to be looking at this is going to be way above average, and then this is slightly below average, below average, and slightly below average. So we will be seeing a whole widespread area for below average with this neutral. Again, this neutral does favor very, very chilly Arctic blast to come to the Midwest and produce some snowy areas into the southeast too. But in this light blue, we will be seeing slightly below average temperatures. So all the way from the Boston areas, all the way to the deep south coast, to parts of the southern Ozarks and south central, all the way to the central plains, all the way to Montana. And then we will be seeing below average temperatures in the second layer of blue. That's where we could see some very, very cold temperatures for the areas all the way. Actually, for the Atlanta area, you are looking like you can have a colder winter this year. I'm actually pretty excited about that too, because we didn't get a whole lot of snow last year like predicted. I was disappointed too, but this year is promising for some cold blasts to come. We're already seeing some 70s in the highs here in Georgia. It's looking like a very, very cold start to the end of summer. And then again, we are having some colder temperatures out here for the Appalachian Mountains, especially with a lot of that precipitation. We will be seeing cooler air, which is a sign of bringing very cold temperatures. And then we will be expecting way below average temperatures for the areas in the Midwest. So for Jesse, you can see some areas, and also MGC Combo, you can see you guys actually could see in this point here of Minnesota, you can see way below average temperatures. I really just did not get that there, but if you're in that point there, I bet none of you guys live there. But we can see way below average temperatures out there for parts of the Midwest and for the northern plains, so from Minnesota, Michigan, the Iowa area, and then we can see slightly above average temperatures out here for the let me actually change its color. I really don't think the yellow's working. We can see way below average temperature. Okay, that's not going to work either. So we can see slightly above average temperature for the south central, for the west coast too. So it's going to be wet and dry. Not wet and dry. It's going to be warm and dry, which is typical southwest weather, which kind of sucks. But if you live from like central Texas through the Four Corner area to the Portland area, you can see some slightly above average temperatures. Again, this does not mean it's going to be like this every single day. This is just an average for the next couple months. And then we will be seeing above average temperatures for the areas of the most southern part of the country. So for the LA, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and New Mexico, that's where we can see above average temperatures. Now we're going to be looking at my snowfall prediction here. Let me just move this here. So this is snowfall. So we could see slightly above average snowfall for areas to the southeast, all the way into northern Michigan. So if you are in this area of the southeast, you can see slightly above average snowfall, which is pretty nice for those areas. And then for the northern plains, for Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, and for northern Minnesota and northern Michigan, we can see slightly below or slightly above average snowfall. Again, if you live up here in northern Minnesota, I know it kind of really does suck to not have a lot of snow, but it's looking like we could see not so much snow out there for the most northern part. We'll be seeing above average snowfall, not a way above average, but above average snowfall for some areas for the Ozarks, for the central plains, so Kansas, Oklahoma, the Dakotas. You can see above average snowfall here, Denver, and then for areas in central and northern Michigan there, and for Wisconsin, Minnesota, you can see above average temperatures, above average snowfall. And then for the way above average snowfall, we can see that from the Midwest, Ohio Valley, all the way to the Northeast. Because we can see a lot more nor'easters, guys. A lot more nor'easters this year. I just have a good feeling about this. So from Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, Cleveland, New York City, Boston, you guys can see way above average snowfall there. I don't have exact amounts of how above average. That will come in maybe around October. I'll have the exact amounts on what I predict. And then we will be seeing below average snowfall in general. Not slightly, but above average, below average snowfall for these areas in the Southwest. So yeah. And then we're going to be looking at my typical forecast now. So we can see cold and snowy at times here in the light blue. So for the southeast and for the southern Ozarks, we can see some cold and snowy conditions at sometimes there. And then for the green, for the dark green, we can see chilly and wet for these areas in the deep south, all the way to Florida, chilly and wet there. And then we could see some dry and warm areas, again, most likely in these areas for the southwest and the south central for the Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas area. And then we could see chilly and some snow out here for these areas for the west. I know I said and some snow. We won't see above average snowfall again, but we could see a lot, somewhat some snow out here for the Sierra Mountains, and then we might see some some snow out here for the southwest, and it could be chilly. Again, you can be chilly. It's not some snow. It's chilly and some snow, so you can probably just be chilly and not get the snow. And then we will have cold at times in this dark blue for this Pacific Northwest, so for Oregon and those areas, in Salt Lake City. And then this for this normal map area, that's average, so I really don't want to put anything there because that's just average. Then we can see many Arctic blasts and heavy snow out here into the pink, so that's from all the way to the northeast all the way to the northern plains. So for the Dakotas, Montana, for these areas of the Midwest, and for parts of the Ohio Valley, and for the Buffalo area, we can see many Arctic blasts. And then I do believe in this red we could have some blizzards. I was going to put nor'easters, but I'm just most likely to put blizzards because we will have a lot of snow from Maine all the way to the Virginias that have a lot of snowfall. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should have my second one maybe out by the mid-August or end of August. Yeah guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope it helps. Bye.